Hello students, welcome to the fifth lecture on Introduction to Mathematica. In this lecture, I will be talking about problem solving with Mathematica. So I will take some simple problems in physics and mathematics and will show you how to solve them using Mathematica. So the first thing which I want to discuss is spatial functions. Okay, spatial functions are very important, okay, in any branch of physics, whether it is writing wave function in quantum mechanics or doing some approximation in electrodynamics. Everywhere spatial functions are there to help us. So how to generate spatial functions, okay, like Hermite polynomials or Legendre polynomials or all those things, we will discuss today. Okay, so the first thing which I want to discuss is about Legendre polynomial. The Legendre polynomials are actually defined as Pn of x is equal to 1 upon n factorial d to the power n on dt to the power n. Okay, so this is the nth order derivative with respect to t of 1 upon under root of 1 plus t square minus 2ut, okay, and all evaluated at t is equal to 0. Okay, so this is known as the Rodrigues formula. Okay, okay, you can write Rodrigues formula for Hermite polynomial, for the Bessel functions and all those things. So I am taking a case of a Legendre polynomial. So this is the thing which we have. Okay, now I want to define this entire function, okay, in Mathematica. Okay, so we have seen in the last lecture that how to define a function in Mathematica. So what we will do, first of all, that I will divide this entire process in three steps. Okay, so what I will do, first of all, that I will take this thing which is in the bracket, okay, and I will define this first, okay, which is 1 upon under root of 1 plus t square minus 2ut. Then what I will do, I will take the nth order derivative of this function which is in the bracket with respect to t, okay, and when once I have this derivatives, I will divide it with n factorial and replace t with 0. Okay, so the first step which I will do is defining this quantity in the bracket. So let me open Mathematica. Okay. So you can see that I have defined that quantity which was in the bracket as a function g which is depending on t and u, which is equal to 1 upon square root of 1 plus t square minus 2ut. Okay, so I have completed the first step. Now what is my second step? Taking nth order derivative. Okay, so I have defined the nth order derivative as dn. Okay, and it is a function of t, u and n. Okay, so basically d, which is the derivative, and this is the nth order derivative with respect to t of g. Okay, so this is how I can calculate the nth order derivative, okay, of a function. Then what is the last thing? In the last thing I have to divide this entire derivative, okay, which I have got with n factorial, okay, and replace my variable t with 0. Okay, so once I have done this, so p is my function which is depending on u and n. So once I give the value of u and n, my value of Legendre polynomial is evaluated. Okay, so let me evaluate this table. So you can see that Okay, for n is equal to 0 to 4. Okay, I have replaced n variable with k since it is a dummy index. So k is basically, okay, 0 first, then the answer is 1, then it is u, then it is k replaces from 2, 3, 4. So this is how the first 5 Legendre polynomials are generated. Okay, and you have took a very simple inbuilt function and you created your own function, which is a kind of complicated function. So this is how you can do. See, you have the facility of inbuilt function for Legendre polynomial, and the Legendre polynomial is basically defined as Legendre p. Okay, the only difference between this function and this function is that this is defined by ourselves, and this is the inbuilt function for Legendre polynomial. Here we have defined it as u and n, and here it is interchanged. Here first it is n and then it is u. Okay, now using inbuilt function I will generate the Legendre polynomials and I will compare whether whether what I have done in my program is correct or not. So let me compare. So you can see that these values are basically generated using our program, and these are the values which are generated using inbuilt function. So both the values are same. The purpose of showing this example is that it is not always necessary that there is an inbuilt function available of your choice. So if that is the scenario, then you can basically make your own inbuilt function according to your convenience. Okay, and then you can use it further. Okay, so this is how you can solve such problems and generate uh, these things, special functions. Okay, so this is the first problem. Now let me talk about another problem, which is the Fourier series. Okay. According to this Fourier theorem, any function f of t, okay, which is periodic, okay, that is f of t plus capital T is equal to f of t. Okay, so t is known as the period of the function. Okay, so any periodic function f of t, okay, can be written as an infinite series of f of t is equal to a0 plus summation of n is equal to 1 to infinity an cos of 2n pi t by t plus bn sine of 2n pi small t by capital T. Okay, so it can be written as n series. Okay, any function, okay, which is periodic can be written as a summation of, okay, sines and cosines, and this series can go to infinity. So this series is known as the Fourier series. Okay, I hope that most of you have learned this in your mathematical physics course. Okay, and to write this function as a series, the most important thing is that you have to first determine what is your a0, what is your an, and what is your bn. Okay, so this a0, an, and bn are known as the Fourier coefficients, and this basically depends on f of t. Okay, what kind of function is this? So basically for different functions the value of a0, an, and bn will change. So what is the formula for a0, an, and bn? It is like this. Okay. So a0 is defined as 1 by t, which is the period, okay, varying from initial time to t0 plus t. Okay, and f of t dt. Okay, so this is how. So if you have f of t, you have to integrate from t0 to t0 plus t and divide it by 1 by t, and then you will get the value of a0. So you can clearly see that it depends on f of t. Okay, the other coefficient, which is an, is defined as 2 by t. It is also varying from t0 to t0 plus t, f of t cos of 2n pi t by t, okay, dt. And the third one is bn is equal to 2 by t from t0 to t0 plus t, f of t sine of 2n pi t by t. Okay, so this is how we have to define. So this is your first, second, and third. Okay, so these are the three formulas for a0, an, and bn. Okay, so once you know what kind of function you are interested in, then you can easily calculate what are your coefficients. Okay, so the first thing is how to define the function. Okay, the function, the first and the foremost requirement for f of t is that it must be periodic. So let me take an example of like this. Okay, a periodic function, okay, and here it is 1 and here it is 0. So it remains 1 up till 2, and then at 3 it again switches to 1, and then it will remain again for 2 seconds, then it will again fall back. So it is 5 now, and again at 6 it will increase. Okay, and this is how. So this is basically the, what is the period? It repeats the function at after this much. So your t is equal to capital 3. Okay, and it starts from 0, so your t0 is 0. Okay, so you know these things. Now we will define your function. So basically, okay, it is written as that if, okay, my t is less than 2, then the value of function should be 1, else it is 0. Okay, so this is how the if else condition in Mathematica is written. Okay, so this is a new kind of thing which I have not shown up till now, is the if else condition. So if t is less than 2, okay, then it will be 1. Okay, and then for rest of the time it will be 3. Again the period will start. Okay, then for 2 seconds it will be 1, and then it will be 0 again. Okay, then again it will be 2. For 2 seconds it will be high, and then it will be low. So this is how you have to write in Mathematica. So if is the inbuilt function. So if the condition is true, okay, then this thing will be evaluated. Okay, and when the condition is not true, then this thing will be evaluated. So for t less than 2, your condition is true, so it is written as 1, and then for rest of the time it is 0. Okay, and the total period is 3, so it will again repeat. Okay, so this is how this thing. Now let us go to Mathematica. So here you can see that I have basically defined your a0. Okay, a0 is basically 1 by t integration of f of t dt. Okay, and t is varying from t0 to t0 plus t. Okay, so you can see that a0 is a function of capital T and t0, but it is not a function of small t. Why? Because there is a fundamental rule of mathematics, yes, that if you integrate a function okay, with respect to a certain variable, then the dependence of the function on that variable is removed. So once you integrate f of t with respect to small t, then the dependence of f on small t is removed. Okay, so this is why the integration is very helpful in sometimes to remove the dependence on certain variables. So once I have integrated f of t with respect to small t, so now my a0 is not a function of small t, it is only a function of a of capital T and t0. Okay, now the an I have defined as anfs is equal to 2 by t integration of f of t cos of 2n pi t by capital T, and t is varying from t0 to capital T. So here also you can see that it is a function of capital T, it is a function of t0. Again, it will not be a function of small t because of the integration the dependence is removed, and the final thing is small n. Okay, because there is an extra variable introduced which is a small n. And the third thing is basically my bn, which is a function of n t and t0. So this is again 2 by t integration of f of t sine of 2n pi t by t. So this is how your Fourier coefficients are defined. Okay, now what I will do, I will basically define my function. Okay, so the function is defined as if, okay, function f of t is equal to, if, this is how we define the function, f of t is equal to, if t is less than 2 it will be 1, else it will be 0. Okay. So I have defined my function like this. So the function is defined. Now if I want to find, okay, so a naught, okay, so what I will do, a0 for, I want to keep my capital T as 3 and small t0 is basically 0, so it is 2 by 3. Okay, so the a0 is calculated. Now I want to find anfs. Okay, so since you know that n will be a summation of series, so I will not define n, but I will define 3 and 0. Okay, so you can see now, so this is how my an is found. Okay, now if I want to find bn fs, then I will have to write n comma 3 comma 0. Okay, so so this is my bnfs, okay, which is this. So this is how I can calculate my Fourier coefficients. Okay, now once you know this thing, you can also find the Fourier series, since you know the Fourier coefficients. So this is how you can find the Fourier coefficients of a periodic function. Okay, so this is how you can solve another very interesting problem of physics.